So you just started playing DBD and you don't know which killer to main. No worries, I've asked the internet and compiled the info you need to be a successful Skull Merchant main. Guard your 3-gen. Joking aside, there is a wide variety of Skull Merchant mains, which are for the most part overshadowed by the 3-gen mains who run a build of nothing but gen slowdown perks. This does make it difficult for all of the other mains to actually have some playtime, as a lot of survivors would rather receive an unlubricated prostate exam than so much as risk a Chris 3-gener. It may not be the hours-long standoffs of days past, but survivors have jobs and families they have to be back to, so they slam that DC button and test the integrity of their bathroom plumbing while they wait for the DC penalty to pass and skip past the endgame chat where the 3-genning Skull Merchant explains their complicated plan to lock down a 3-gen from the first moment of the game like they're Light from Death Note. On a happy note, since Adriana's Mori is just a discount Freddy Mori, you're unlikely to have to sit through it. One thing most Skull Merchant mains can agree on is that behavior could have done better. While many of the behaviors you're about to see can be present in the 3-gen mains, the majority of these other mains would rather watch the second Mortal Kombat movie from the 90s in back-to-back showings while stone cold sober than squat on a 3-gen. Honestly, the movies might go faster. First off, we have the love at first sight mains. From the moment that PTB went live and these mains laid eyes on Adriana, they knew they had found their main. This is similar to the Wesker mains that hit puberty the first time Mr. Whisker slammed them against a wall. From the moment they saw her walking like a human Hawaii chair, they knew this was their wifey. These mains don't necessarily have a plan when they get into the game, they're just content to just exist as Adriana and are thrilled every time they meet a fellow enthusiast. While Skull Merchant does get a lot of hate, there are a handful of survivors that see Adriana walking around like she has no bones and uncontrollably chirp, "Mommy." These mains would throw themselves in front of a speeding bus for the mere opportunity to lay hands on those cheeks. The love at first sight mains understand and will generally either let these thirsty bastards live, or let them live the dream before unceremoniously putting them down because they are the only one allowed to clap those cheeks. Next up, we have the Skull Mommies. These mains are just big fans of Adriana, but they do have a tendency to punish survivors that misbehave. While the love at first sight mains don't mind a survivor lighting up their rear end with a flashlight halo, Skull Mommies have a very different attitude. You wanted Mommy's attention, now you have it. Skull Mommy will then proceed to tunnel the survivor that so desperately wanted her attention, much to the chagrin of the other survivors who are working diligently to break up a potential 3-gen. While Skull Mommy isn't necessarily looking to 3-gen survivors, if a 3-gen happens to appear in her yard, she's going to grab her paddle and wait to bend the next survivor over her knee. They don't like it, but survivors are never going to learn from their mistake if Skull Mommy doesn't take advantage of it. Skull Mommies respect risky gameplay, and the survivors who try to play it safe will soon be finding themselves floating into the great beyond because Mommy does not like to be bored. Next up, we have our Bone Merchants. These mains will either run Devour or Haunted Ground and set up their mini orcas to take down any survivor yachts that dare sail near their territory. Devour is generally standard, but some of them took inspiration from the hags that trap Haunted Ground, and once the survivors call out its position, they dive bomb it like a bunch of seagulls